You were tuned in to G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button as you come on in. Now, this is a sneak attack live, no doubt about it. But as you can see, I got my main man with me, my right hand, VP Chain. What's going on, bro?
Still here, still living.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We got a big night of fights tonight. We got the zone card. We have Devin Haney, Jorge Linares. Couple fights on the undercard that I'm interested in as well. And Showtime, PBC has a good card tonight featuring future Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire going up against O'Bali. That's gonna
So
be a really good
Bali,
fight. That's gonna be
that's
a
a big
real good
fight.
fight. That's a real good fight. Um, which main event are you looking forward to the most? Haney Linares or O'Bali and
I'll say
Donaire?
Haney Linares. I'll say Haney Linares because I feel like when you look at the landscape of the bantamweight division, I feel like Obali naturally he's got that division has a lot of big fights coming. You know, you got the Rigondeaux and Casemiro fight. That's a
Hmm.
big fight, and
Yeah,
then you have Benue. He's still out there, and to me, I just feel like when you look at the landscape of things, Obali's like he's ready for that jumper. But as soon as like he finishes this fight, you're gonna look at him and he's gonna be straight compared to like he's gonna be going straight into either a Rigondeaux or the New Way or one of those guys going into that fight. Whereas Devin Haney, we don't know what happens with him after this fight. And I feel like there's a lot
right.
of clouds hanging around him. And we thought he was going to go into a big fight after the Gamboa fight, but it didn't work out. I feel like this fight really is no longer about winning, it's about impressing because he didn't look good in that Gamboa fight. And
No,
that's the problem.
yeah. That I'm more interested in Haney and Linares because there's more questions with it. Um, with Linares, I don't know what Linares is going to show up. I really don't. Like we've seen Linares show up and he's getting knocked out in the first, second round, and we've seen Linares show up against Lomachenko and he's like neck and neck with Lomachenko and
Yeah.
really was putting in good work.
That's what's so funny because in the build up to this fight, I'm hearing everybody talk about, oh, he beat Luke Campbell or he beat Lomachenko. I'm like, bro, you guys are talking about fights that were years ago. Let's talk
Mhm.
about the Pablo Cano fight when this guy got knocked out in the first round.
Right.
But that's what we have to look at the pundits. Like these guys kind of, a lot of these pundits are still kind of casuals, in my opinion.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, they still look at the mainstream fights. I mean, whether you watch the fight or not, you're now critiquing a fighter. So I'm not
Mhm.
gonna go to a fight that was 3, 4 years ago. I'm gonna go to a fight that's pretty relevant. Yeah, I know he's picked up a couple
Yeah.
wins since then, but that fight, that Pablo Cano fight, can't get out of my head. Seeing someone get knocked out in the second round, or I think it's the first round,
It was the first
that
round.
that can't get out of my head. And
I, yeah.
I just gone.
I like to go back no more than 2 years, depending on the situation. Um, it's like when you going 3, 4 years back, I mean, so much can change during that time frame. So if I'm evaluating a fighter, something like that, if I can keep it within an 18 to 24 month span, like I feel like that's when we get the best. That's probably the best research you can do. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? And the thing with Linares is just we haven't seen prime Linares in a long time. Like we haven't seen prime Linares in a long time, and I think I'm more interested in this fight than the O'Bali fight because if Linares shows up and he's top of the line Linares, and that's a big ask. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how Haney deals with that because the one thing about Haney, and he's one of my favorite young fighters in the sport, but we talk about it all the time. Guys, um, he stays within his comfort zone. Like I don't know if Haney can play high speed chess yet. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if he could play high speed chess yet. And that's probably the only question I have with Haney. But he's in a really tight spot because if he gets the victory and is via decision and is a a type of performance that you and I would appreciate, but the general public wouldn't, he's probably gonna get more backlash and credit. So best case scenario for Devin Haney is that he gets some type of knockout, stoppage, or a highlight reel knockout. Because I don't think a decision, just a tactical decision, is going to do him any good um, going forward. I think the actual performance is going to be more important than the victory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those. It's literally one of those fights where I watch it and I'm just thinking, okay, how good is Linares right now? I feel like, if I'm being deadly honest, I feel like Linares isn't the same guy he was, and I am expecting Devin Haney to put on a good performance, but that could potentially turn into something that make the fight harder than it needs to be. Kind of like AJ and Ruiz, in the sense that he was so mesmerized by how Wilder looked in his fight that he made sure he went out there and.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that comment in a second. I'm literally reading the
No,
comment.
that's for me. That's for me.
Yeah,
Big
so
shout out. I know I couldn't make it, bro. I fell back to sleep. I fell back to sleep. Nah, I was supposed to go to the amateur joint
yeah,
today. And I ended up falling back asleep and shit. Big shout out to YSM Sports Media. I'm taking the bullets for that one. For sure. Um, yeah, but it's crazy, man. Like it's really
again,
crazy.
I don't know what to really expect from a.
Hold on, Shane, real quick. Hey, YSM, did you make the trip? Just answer that for me. Did you make the trip? And is everything going good? Um, Go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to expect. I don't like. It's very, as I was saying, it could be a potential banana skin, in the sense that you could go for the knockout and end up just making the fighter harder work than it needs to be. If I'm Devin Haney, I feel like the best thing is to do is just to think about the think about getting this fight done in as clean fashion as possible, because whether you win, lose, or draw, no, whether you win in a good fashion or you win in ugly fashion, your career's got to move forward and you got to start kicking it up a bit. And I don't even feel like Linares is a massive step up. I'll be honest with you. I don't even think he is. You don't go from fighting Linares to fighting Tiafimo.
What? Okay, so you say that's not a major step up. Is it? Is this not the biggest fight of his career?
See, this is the thing. When you got a ceiling like Devin Haney, you can't look at it like that. Lipinets was the biggest fight of Boots' career, but his ceiling's so high that you can't even look at it like that, because your ceiling's so high. Like fighting a C
Well,
level fighter and your potential A level fighter, that's not really that
yeah,
significant.
but the thing is, I mean, you just evaluating resume like at the moment. You know what I mean?
But
So just at the moment.
I feel like when you're a prospect, resume is actually quite irrelevant. That's just me being honest, especially when you're young.
Well, no, I'm with you with that, but just in terms of Haney, like Linares is the best opponent he's been in the ring with, despite him being on the downside. He's the most skilled guy that he's been in the ring with, easily.
Yeah, but it doesn't carry much weight, because you naturally, the trajectory of your career is past Linares. So you can't look at it as, oh, this is the biggest step up of my career, when it's not really a step up. If you think
But
about it,
but
it's
that's
just
a, go ahead. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's just like a segue to your next stage. And to me, I just kind of look at it like, if you're looking at it, let's say Linares Devin Haney's ceiling's up here. Linares is about here. I'm not going to look at Linares and think, oh, wow, this is a massive step up. I'm going to look at it as, okay, you need to get this done to get to where you need to go.
Yeah, why some sports media said this is a quality step up. I feel the same way because outside of because there's still questions about Haney. Like he looked like the goods, but 135 is so stacked, and we haven't seen Haney have no type of resistance. And
Why?
mhm.
Why is Linares the one that's gonna cause? Is gonna be that person though? That's the thing. I can't see. I don't
Nobody.
understand that.
No, but we not saying that though. We not saying that. We talking about just the opponent and the quality of the opponent. Now, what's going to happen in there, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the actual guy that he's facing, this is the one guy that probably presents the most problems for Haney out of everybody that's on his resume. Now, Haney might go in there and just blow him out.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's,
the barometer is very low. The level that he's been fighting is very low. So I can't even give that credit. You see my point? Like if you go
so,
around fighting D level
so,
fight, if you fight a C minus fight, I can't give that
but
credit.
yeah, but the thing is though, if he's a C level fighter and that's the best fighter on his resume, that's an indictment on Haney.
No, it's an indictment on guys not wanting to fight Haney. Loma didn't fight Haney, Teofimo didn't fight Haney, and Ryan didn't fight Haney. That's just the fact.
There's still other guys outside of that scope.
Who
It's,
else would fight Haney? Let's look at it. Who else would fight Haney? Luke Campbell didn't fight Haney because Luke Campbell fought Ryan and he lost to Ryan.
but
What's
before that he was going to though.
Yeah, he was going to, and the reason why he didn't was because of the whole franchise WBC nonsense that was going on with that.
Yeah.
That situation didn't happen. And to me, I don't even think Luke Campbell's that good of a name neither, because Luke Campbell lost to Linares. So how good is Luke Campbell? I'll more look at someone like even Javier Fortuna, for example. To me, is a better fight than Linares, but how much of a better fight is that? How much of a
Right.
better fight is that?
But we're big on fighter development though. These guys these guys need these types of fights. Like Devin Haney
I'm not
needs these
saying
types
for
of
him
fights.
not to take this fight. I'm just saying that his perspective shouldn't be, oh, this is a step up. His perspective should be, okay, I'm just fighting Linares, a guy who's going to get into it and he's
Okay.
going to.
All right, I see what you're saying. So you're talking about Devin Haney's personal approach more
Yeah,
so than
because
anything else. Okay.
and fans
All
as
right.
well. And
That's
fans,
different
like
than what I was
fans
talking
shouldn't be
about.
looking at it. Fans shouldn't be looking at it like, oh wow, Devin Haney's making a step up. Like to me, Devin Haney making a like when Teofimo fought Comey, that was a step up. I was like, okay, you're fighting a world class fighter or someone just above that elite level. That's a step up because on an off night, Comey's gonna beat you. It's not even a question. Comey's gonna beat you. On an off night, Comey will beat you. On an off night, Devin Haney still can win. Not saying he will win, but he can win. If you have an off night against Comey, you are definitely going to lose.
Yeah, let me get in the comments real quick. My bro Blaze Philly 215 is in the building. What's going on with you, bro? YSM said not a blown up 135. With experience that can punch. Yeah, Linares brings some things to the table. He also said uh that's Bob that Bob controls. Bob has all the quality B-side guys in the division outside of Fortuna and Linares. Bob won't let his guys fight Devin. That's true as well. So it's kind of
But
part bad
I get
luck
that.
too.
I get that. But there's also a certain amount that Haney can only do a certain amount. And obviously, as you said, Bob will only do a certain amount to let Haney go. But I also feel like there's ways in which, okay, the Linares fight's a good fight. That's a good fight. I know there were talks about that Gary Russell fight. I personally thought, in terms of status and name, I feel like that would have been a good fight as well.
Right.
I feel like the fight that Eddie should have tried to make would have been if I was Eddie, I would have been trying to make either Jojo Diaz versus Devin Haney or um Kevin Farmer versus Devin Haney. Because both of them
Mm-hmm.
are moving up to 135. In my personal opinion, Jojo Diaz versus Devin Haney would have been a better fight. That's the fight I would have tried to make. Or and it's an in-house fight. I know
Right.
people are gonna say, but he's a 130, but nobody had that. Nobody was saying that when Tank was moving up to 130, 135. People wanted Tank to fight. If you keep it real, Loma is a 130. He's not a natural 135, but he fought Teofimo Lopez. So it's just the way it goes.
And people say that about Lomachenko, but nobody said that prior to the loss.
No, of course not. I'm not saying it now. I'm not using the
Yeah.
hindsight and saying it. I'm
Yeah,
just saying
yeah,
in general. I'm saying in general, when you look at the landscape of the division,
yeah. Right.
a lot of guys have come into that division from other weight classes. So who's to say that a Jojo Diaz couldn't come to that division and make noise? Or it wouldn't be a worthy opponent. I think that would be a worthy opponent for
Yeah.
Devin Haney.
I think combination of what YSM said and a combination of what you just said is more the reason why I feel like the Linares fight should be looked at as a step up fight because he
Let me
doesn't
ask you a
have a lot of
question.
options.
Where does he go next? That's my question to you. Where does he go next?
If he gets this victory and he looks impressive, I mean, I would go right back to like a Jojo Diaz or a Javier Fortuna or something like that because Devin
But
Haney needs to build his resume up. You
I
understand
get
what I'm
that,
saying?
but this is the thing, bro. This is where I was saying what I was saying. I have no problem with the fight, but you've now taken two steps when, in my personal opinion, you could have just taken one. You could have just gone, you know what, straight Javier Fortuna, straight, or straight
But that's the
Jojo.
thing. It's
Yeah,
been so much. And I blame the WBC for a lot of this bullshit because at one point he was supposed to fight Fortuna. At one point he was supposed to fight Luke Campbell. At one point he was supposed to get the Loma fight. Like he's been
Ryan
kind of get
Garcia.
Ryan Garcia. Like he's been getting kind of kicked around. So that's why I said this Linares fight. I look at it a little bit different because he's been getting kicked all over the place. It's kind of like he has to fight somebody. So
I don't want to sound like a broken record,
but
but whenever
what's the other? I hear what you're saying, but what other names were available at the
at that
time?
time.
At the
No, and
time,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not against the fight. I'm just against the perception that this is a step up. That's just
but
me
why is it
looking at
not a
it.
step up though? It is a step up.
If you're looking at it in comparison to a resume that he has right now, then of course it's a step up. But I'm just looking at it from a perspective of who Devin Haney is and the fact that this guy is a world champion. Whether
How
you
good
say
you
he's an
think he
emo
is?
world champion, to me, we're putting him on the same level as Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. That's what we're putting him because he's a world champion. Whether you want
But
to say he's an emo world champion, he's a world champion.
right, but it Gmail or Yahoo? You're not gonna answer that.
I don't know. I don't know. It probably was Gino. I won't
but
lie to you.
Linares is the same guy. And I think this is me giving more credit to Linares than actually like a knock on Haney. Cause I'm like, if Linares faces a Lomachenko, I'm like, he has enough talent to give him problems. If he fought a Tiafimo, I would say the same thing. When Linares steps in the ring, my question will not change. Which Linares is going to show up? If the B to A level Linares shows up, he gives anybody at 135 problems, just off his pure physical talent.
I
He's one of the
get that,
best. He's one of the best offensive. When he's on, he has one of the best offensive games out there.
but we're talking about public perception. So if he has a hard night with Linares, I guarantee you people are going to be looking at it. Wow, he had a hard fight with a guy that got absolutely obliterated in one round.
But the thing is though, Shane, that actually benefit him. You know how I go. Once people don't come knocking on the door until they see some type of weakness. Am I right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
That actually benefit him. If he goes in there and blows Linares out, he probably gonna have more problems getting a fight. But if he's in a competitive fight with Linares, then the guys like Fortuna, Luke Campbell, possibly Jojo Diaz, or Tevin Farmer, they're gonna be like, oh, he's sweet. Like we about to take that. So that's him having a competitive fight is not necessarily a bad thing. It might open up the door for more opportunities for him.
I mean, this again, I said the same thing when it came to Andre. I am really critical of Eddie Hearn and his promotional skills in America.
He just can't. He can't pull it. Like he needs. See the difference between him being in the UK and him being here. When he's trying to promote here, he need other people to play ball. Just other people are not playing ball with him. So I don't look at it like Eddie's a bad promoter or anything like that. It's just they're not playing ball with him.
You know what? This is the problem. He started this by when he came to America, he was trying to make a splash. And that's how he marketed it. And the thing is, if he didn't come in that with that high, like with that presence of I'm trying to make a splash, I don't think he would have had this problem. The reason why I don't think he would have had this problem is because the reason why people ain't giving him fights, the honest reason is very simple. Is because many people see this guy as a threat. If they didn't see this guy as a threat, they wouldn't be doing this. And that's just me keeping it 100% real.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's just down to him. He's come and he's made his bed so much harder to sleep in just by building himself up so much. I'll give you an example, yeah? I'll give you an example. And I said this to a very, very, very famous boxing pundit. And he posted it on his Instagram yesterday. I said this to him. I said, what people don't understand is Bob Arum has failed to make a big fight in 2021. Sorry. He's failed to make a big fight in 2021.
You said Bob Arum?
Bob Arum. Look at his biggest names. He's made big hardcore fights, but in terms of like money fights, all his biggest fighters have been inactive. Loma's been inactive. Tiafimo has moved over to the other side. Fury's been inactive. Crawford's been inactive. 2021 hasn't been a good year for ESPN and Top Rank.
Top Rank.
From
a casual perspective.
Yeah, from a casual perspective. You are in a situation where you have AJ and you have Golovkin and you have Canelo. You have three guys with potentially the power to pull. We don't even need to talk about Al Heyman because Al Heyman is just on another level. But to me, if I'm Bob Arum, why on earth am I going to strengthen you? You're about to make a Devin Haney fight. Let's say I sent Comey over there and Devin Haney knocked Comey out, or I went over there and I sent another fight over there. So it doesn't help ESPN as a brand, and that's the problem. He's gone out there and he's made the market so competitive because, let's keep it real, he's overpaid fighters. So a lot of fighters have come over there, and whether they've won or lost, he's overpaid fighters and he's made his fighters active. That is against the American model. And that's why guys are like, you know what, I'm going to make it hard for you. Because him and Al Heyman already were at loggerheads from the AJ stuff that was going on, AJ and Wilder stuff.
We got my bro, Blaze 4215.
I ain't seen Blaze since the last time we spoke.
Yeah. Brother be working hard, y'all. I can't help it.
I feel you. Let me get through these comments real quick. Slurvin is in the building. Big shout out to you. Based on Haney's last two fights, which were not impressive, this is a step up, and Phil Linares will make a fight of it. Yeah, I feel like it is a step up for him, but just I understand what Shane is saying now, and we're kind of addressing two different things.
But if we're talking about resume, of course it's a step up. Of course it's a step up. It's like asking, to me, it's like when people were talking about Wilder, and they said, was Ortiz a step up for Wilder? And when you look at a resume perspective, of course it is. But when you look at the ceiling of where Wilder is, I don't think it's that big of a step up. Because in my opinion, Wilder's an elite fighter. Him going from fighting C-level fighters to B-level fighters ain't a step up to me. Him fighting an A-level fight is a step up. That's what it's like to me.
Yeah, I think you're saying that because I think you're putting the guys you're talking about, I think you're putting them on a higher pedestal than I am.
But they're world champions, so they have to be on a high pedestal.
But all world champions aren't leveled the same, though. You know that.
Do you not compare Devin Haney to Teofimo Lopez?
Skill wise, yeah.
So if you're comparing them, why Teofimo
has shown me though. Teofimo has shown me because he's had the opportunities. Devin hasn't. Devin's had more roadblocks than Teofimo. So
That's a fact.
yeah, Devin doesn't have that many options. So if we're getting a Linares, yeah, that's a step up. But see, the thing, this is why I say it's a step up even for the casuals. They'll recognize it because they recognize Linares from the Lomachenko fight. You see what I'm saying? They recognize him from the Lomachenko fight. So he's not just your average bear. You understand what I'm saying?
He's a better fighter than anybody at Devin Haney's fought, but that's not my point. That's basically my point. I'm literally saying that's not my point in it. I'm talking about in terms of where I want to see Devin Haney. It's like if Boots goes out and in his next fight he fights if in his next fight he fights, I don't even know, like Kavalauskas. That's not a step up to me. That's not a step up to me.
Yeah, see, and I think that's the opposite. I think that's a major step up. But it's just
if he goes and fights Mikey, that's a step up for me. Because I feel like he's going.
You're comparing step up. This kind of like the last live we had, like our meanings and definitions are different. With this situation, like you're looking at it from a guy's ceiling. So I'll take the Wilder example, right? So you think Wilder at that time was a world-class high-level fighter at heavyweight. Just because you feel that way does not mean that Luis Ortiz fight was not a step-up fight for him. There's a balance. It is a balance in between. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you're wrong. You're not wrong for thinking that, but you're looking at it from a ceiling perspective.
Okay,
I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you one question. If Devin Haney beats Linares,
right,
is he or does your perception of Devin Haney rise or increase?
Yeah,
it has to.
Okay, so my one doesn't. That's why. That's where we're looking at things different. My one doesn't.
Why wouldn't it though?
Because I expect him to beat him. I trust my eye test enough. I trust my eye test enough.
I expect him to beat him too, but you know, it's still a step up.
You wouldn't be impressed by that?
You me?
Yes.
Now, I would be impressed when you're talking about impressed, I have to see the fight and how he wins the fight.
Exactly.
Now, if he wins
but we've seen Linares knocked out in one round.
I'm not impressed.
So again, how big is that a step up? You've seen Linares knocked out in one round.
Right, but we both agreed this is his biggest fight though.
Yeah, but that's based on having very, very bad fights previously. I mean, that's just if you've had rubbish, it's like it's just the saying. It's the stereotypical saying when someone says to you, "If I starve you enough, you'll be willing to eat anything," and that's basically what it is. You're gonna eat anything when I give you a plate of food. You're gonna be willing to eat everything. We've been starved for so long watching Devin Haney's career.
I will say this. He needs a knockout to make a statement, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fact. He needs a statement performance.
Right.
He definitely needs a statement performance.
I didn't, and I keep it real, yeah. And this is where I'm gonna get a lot of. Okay, do you think Linares is a gatekeeper?
You want to answer that?
I believe he is because he's faced everybody. And, this fight right here is supposed to open doors for Devin. I don't think it is because nobody wants to fight. That's what the story of boxing is. Nobody wants to fight each other. Everybody just want to keep their over.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm confident and I'm deadly confident. I am deadly confident if he looks good today. I think
does he get the Teofimo Lopez fight?
I think there's a chance.
I don't think that fight happens for another 4 years.
The reason why I feel like there's a small chance only because I know that Eddie Hearn's going to offer the bag. Eddie Hearn can't afford to go another year without putting on trash American fights.
I think Teofimo Lopez wants to stretch out his reign as long as he can fight Devin.
I could see that happening for sure. Let me get in these comments.
That's what it is nowadays.
Yeah. Chris G in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. Linares might get handed his first decision loss. He's never lost by decision before.
I was about to ask that.
I would have to look that up.
Yeah,
I know he got stopped I know he's got
That's some
stopped like 3 times.
that's some hardcore shit right there. Chris G, I'll take your word for it. That's my boxing son right there. So he know to do his research before he comment. Adrian, big shout out to you. Do you guys think Haney needs a KO to make a statement, or do you think he wins a
We
dominant
literally
decision
was
is good
just
enough?
saying that.
We literally just said that. Yeah, like he needs something highlight realish.
Right.
Rocky Rodriguez said facts. Adrian said 100. Mike Anderson, what's going on with y'all? I've never seen you saying Mike Anderson before, Shane.
No.
Definitely subscribe to the channel. Mike Anderson said great information. Appreciate that. Rocky Tio versus Loma. I don't want to see no rematch. I don't want to see that.
Loman's got to earn that.
Honestly, I can't say I don't want to see him rematch. The fight, let's be real, the fight was close. If he'd have, been there in the first 4 or 5 rounds, it would have been a lot closer fight. But that fight's never going to happen again, man. It's not.
I thought Teofimo would have stopped Loma if he put his foot on the pedal, maybe in the 11th round, he would have stopped Loma. That's what
I think it could have went both ways because T.O. was hurting that fight a couple times, man. He just bit down on his mouth guard and got it done. No.
Yeah. YSM said fans call guys A-level who aren't A-level. YSM, give me an example.
I think he's calling me out for that. And by the way, I rarely call fights A-level.
Let him mention some names. YSM, give us some names because I really don't know. I don't want to jump the gun and say that's the case because YSM pretty much know everybody.
When it comes to that, when it comes to the A, B side, it's all about your perspective. That's all it is, man.
No, that's a fact. He said he lost all by KOs. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Mike Anderson said definitely subscribe and appreciate that. Yeah, like it's crazy, man, because like Devin Haney.
Linares always lost by a KO.
He's never lost by decision.
Has he won 12 rounds with anyone?
Whenever he's going 12, he's won.
Okay.
No, but he's gone 12. I remember he went 12 with Luke Campbell. In fact, that fight was a split decision. But didn't the Loma fight go 12 when he gets stopped in 12?
No, he got stopped in the 11th. He got stopped in the 11th. I had it tied 5-5 going in the 11th. I remember that fight.
Good fight.
That was a real good fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like,
didn't Loma get knocked down in one of the rounds as well?
Yeah, he got knocked down and it was clean too.
It was a flash knockdown.
It was a flash joint, but it was
clean.
Straight right hand.
Go to.
Nobody at 135 is A-level except Loma. Do you agree with that?
I disagree 100% because
Loma lost.
Go ahead.
I'm not Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez beat him.
Blaze, you want to get in on that real quick?
I'm just going to say I don't know that because for the simple fact that these guys don't want to fight each other. Now, he's saying Loma is the A-level, so Teofimo beat him. So what does that make Teofimo?
Hey, YSM, you're going to have to answer that question.
A-level fighter with 2 losses already. That's 2 losses.
YSM, you're going to have to answer to that. I know you can't tap in because you're working, but you're going to have to, you got 2 people getting at you about that comment. I'm not even going to comment on that. Chris G said he lost in the 10th. No, I think it was the 11th. You know what, Chris? You hold on. Loma already lost clearly 116, 112. I had it 116, 112 for Teofimo as well, but he was literally asleep at the wheel for 7 rounds.
I think it was 115, 113 I had it. Because I think
that's either one of them is fine. 7-5 or 8-4. Either one of them is fine. But Teofimo won the fight.
Like, to me, that fight was just all about Lomachenko not wanting to throw punches, man. I think he had more. I think he's better skilled than Teofimo Lopez, but he just didn't. He wasn't there for the first couple of rounds. So
you know what? You know what? I feel like it was, and I'll tell you this very simple because I remember watching Teofimo's last 2 fights before that. I'm not including the Crawler fight. That don't count. But the 2 fights before that, I remember watching him and I remember thinking he doesn't trust his punch resilience. That's what I saw. Because I remember when I was watching him fight Luke Campbell and I'm like, Luke Campbell don't crack like that. But he still had to build confidence before he started stepping on the gas. If you watch the early parts of that Luke Campbell fight, it was kind of back and forth.
I gotta watch that over. I don't even remember that fight, to be honest with you.
That's cool.
No, it's fine.
I think it's a question for you, bro.
The fight wasn't that good.
Adrian said, "Does having losses not make you A-level?" Blaze, I think that was for you, bro.
Not saying it doesn't make him A level, but to me, he lost. Like the question was, is he's the only level A fighter, and he lost to a fighter that's undefeated and has all his belts. So what does that make that fighter? That's what I was more referring
Is
to.
there any A-level fighters? Is there any A-level fight? Okay, there's Canelo. I was gonna say, is there any A-level fighters with a loss in their resume? There's Canelo, isn't there? So.
Definitely Canelo, because
Well, how many
I
A-level
haven't talked
fighters
to
is
y'all
in the
since
sport?
I haven't said.
You know, how many A-level fighters have losses in the
Canelo
sport?
is my pound for pound best fighter right now.
Almost everybody had losses though.
Not almost. No, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. A-level fighters.
And your pound for pound top 10, the majority of the guys have losses.
It's a good question.
Yeah,
I think it's about even. I think it's about even.
You think it's half and half?
It's not all about zeros. I mean, in your loss column to make you an A-level fighter. Not at all. I'm just saying for that particular question.
Got you. Chris G said, just check. Linares lost by 10th round stoppage, and one scorecard had Linares up. I might have had Linares up 5-4. I might have had him up 5-4.
I know that fight was close. I know
that fight was hella close. And one score had it Linares up. One score had Loma up. The one score had it a draw according to the judges. I don't know how you have it a draw. I don't know how you have it a. Oh, you know what? You could have had it a draw. You could have had it a draw because it was a knockdown. It was a knockdown. YSM, just because you beat an A-level fighter doesn't make you an A-level fighter. So, is Andy Ruiz an A-level fighter?
So let me explain that. Let me explain that. So no, Andy Ruiz isn't an A-level fighter. But let's put it this way: if Andy Ruiz beat AJ in both the first fight and the second fight, hypothetically speaking, you can't rate AJ an A-level fighter and then rate Ruiz a B-level fighter, even though Ruiz just beat AJ, which is exactly what you've just done with Loma and Lopez. Because you've said Loma is A-level, but Teofimo is B+, but Loma just lost to Teofimo. Unless you're saying you thought Loma won the fight. That's the only way that makes sense to me.
It depends on who you're talking about.
That's what I say.
It depends on who you're talking about. Because with YSM, I can agree with that depending on who you're talking about. Right. Shane, what you just said, I can agree with that depending on what you're talking about. So I'll take your AJ and Andy Ruiz example, and I'm gonna give you a throwback. This a Blades Philly 215 G5 Jeff TV back in the day type joint. So I'll throw this question at you, Shane. Roy Jones Jr., one of the best to ever do it, right?
I know where you're going with this.
So Antonio Tarver beat him, right? Antonio Tarver beat him. Glenn Johnson beat him. You can make the case that Antonio Tarver is not an A-level fighter. You can also make the case that Glenn Johnson is not an A-level fighter.
He's not an A-level fighter at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I respond to that?
Mm-hmm.
My argument in response will be very simple. At the time of the fight, Roy Jones wasn't an A-level fighter.
That's not true. That's not true.
No, but he got knocked out twice, so you're not.
No, I'm talking about the Glenn Johnson fight. Yes, the Glenn Johnson fight. Yes, the Tarver fight. He was still an A-level fighter.
At that point, he was at the end of his career to me.
The Glenn Johnson fight. He was at the end. He was at the end of the road.
I don't think. Yeah, and this is me being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any A-level fighter should lose to a B-level fighter 2 times. 1 second, let me finish. 2 times, and then still be considered an A-level fighter. I don't think so.
That's an
interesting take.
That's
the people that's listening.
You know what I mean?
The people that's listening, I want y'all to. Can you say that again, Shane? Just for the people that might not have caught what you said. Say that again.
I don't think any A-level fighter who beats. I don't think any A-level fighter who loses to a B-level fighter. And the reason why I brought up 2 times because you brought up the Antonio Tarver thing, but I don't think any A-level fighter who loses to a B-level fighter and gets knocked out twice should be considered a A-level fighter still.
Yeah, I would like
Why?
if y'all could chime in the comment section. I mean, the
Unless
link is in here as well. So I mean, if
you
y'all want
got
to
you
get
got
in,
you got one or two things, because you have to make it make sense to me. Either you're saying Antonio Tarver is an A-level fighter, or you're saying Roy Jones isn't an A-level fighter. You have to make it make sense to me, because it don't make sense how that don't make sense to me. You
so
have
I
to
can.
go down.
So
You
let
have to
me.
go down.
So let me explain it. So of course, after the results of that fight, then yes, you can make the claim that Roy is
That's
not
my
a
point. That is my
right.
point.
But we're talking about going into the fight, though. Going into the fight,
But
he was A level.
I agree with that. But we're talking about the Teofimo Lopez and Loma situation. The reason why
That's
Right.
that's
when
so
I
important
say
is
when
because
it's different. When you
Yeah.
talking, when you're trying to compare things, when it comes to boxing, that never works because each story is different to a fighter. So it's just hard to compare each thing when y'all try to do that. It just becomes a bunch of nonsense and stuff
I
to be talk about.
yeah, I would say that Roy Jones became lesser of a fighter. I would say Roy Jones, I'll be more comfortable saying Roy Jones became lesser of a fighter after that knockout
That's
before I would
Tarver.
say Tarver is
Well,
an A level fighter. Like you
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Tarver
Like
was
if I
doing
had
no,
to
more
but
than
pick
he
that
one of the
that's
did in
two,
his career.
but
That's all
that's
that
my
is to me.
argument though. But that's my argument because we're talking about Loma and Teofimo Lopez. Why I say that doesn't make sense is because we're talking about after the fact. We're not talking about before the fact. Because before the fight, I did not have Teofimo as an A-level fighter. Before the fight, I didn't. I didn't have Teofimo as an A-level fighter. But after beating Loma, he proved to me that he's an A-level fighter.
do
That's
you
how I look at
how
it.
so let me ask this, and I'm gonna get in the comments because they starting to get backed up. Let me ask this. The way that Teofimo won, like the Teofimo Loma fight, I think the one thing that the consensus took out of it is it wasn't the fact that Teofimo Lopez was like much better than Loma. I think anybody that watched that fight, they pretty much was like Loma ain't do shit for the first 7 rounds.
Right. I think
So
Lomachenko is still better than him.
so with that, but how Teofimo won the fight, does that change your opinion on whether he's an A fighter or not?
Is that a question
I
to me?
think
Yes, that's a
you know
question to you, Shane.
The reason why it don't is because he won.
You know what? That's an interesting point. Me personally, I think Teofimo was an A level fighter. Me personally, I think he's an A level fighter. But I also think that Loma is an A level fighter. I think both of them are A level fighters, in my own personal opinion. I personally can't say that Lomachenko was an A level fighter in this particular case. This is not a one size fit all. In this particular case, I can't say Loma is like top shelf and then Tiafimo's not top shelf. You know what I'm saying? So,
That's my argument. That's literally my argument, my standalone argument.
oh, he's in here too. Okay, hold on a second. My bro.
Yo, what's good? I got 5 minutes,
Hey,
yo.
okay, well, you got the whole 5. Go ahead.
I what Shane is clearly missing, and that's that young pup. Styles make fights, right?
Right,
There
right.
are certain styles that just aren't effective against certain styles. That's just what it is. Can we call Frankie Randall an A-level fighter for beating Chavez? And we saw him do it twice. They just robbed him the second time. Can we call him an A-level fighter? No. His style just worked against Chavez. And you referenced the twice thing to Teofimo Lopez, but he didn't beat Loma twice. I watched the fight. The reason why Teofimo Lopez won that fight is because Loma was skeptical of his power, didn't start early, but when he started, he was warming Teo ass up. We all saw that. And I thought he would possibly stop him, but Teo came on strong late 11th in the 12th round. So the reason why I say Lomachenko's the only in that class is okay. Teo knocked out who had been beaten two previous times. He beat the big Japanese, which was a solid win, but
Nakatani.
it was looked at as okay until he stopped Verdejo, and then Teo goes and beats a blown up 126 pounder. Now, I give T.O. props for that win, but we need to just be honest of what Lomachenko is. Lomachenko was a guy that was moving up in weight because it was devoid of talent. As soon as some big 35s got in there, he was in trouble. Big natural 35s. So when I look at T.O.'s resume, it's good, but can I say he's an A-level fighter based off his skills and resume? Not yet. I got him B+.
Can I ask you a question, YSN?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Is Wilder an A-level fighter?
I couldn't hear you. You sound like T-Pain.
I said, is Wilder an A-level fighter?
No.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask. That's all I wanted to ask.
A YSM, I was saying before you jumped on, I think that that's not a one size fit all type thing.
Let me chime in on that.
Wilder,
let me ask you, Shane, is Wilder an A-class fighter in the heavyweight division?
In the heavyweight division, I'm glad you specified heavyweight division. In my opinion, he is. In my opinion, he is.
That's what I'm
saying. YSM, you want to answer that? YSM, you want to answer that?
He's in the top three of. He's in the top 3 of that division, but I look at Wilder's skills, and that's why I can't say A-level. I only give A-level to certain dudes, man. Like Canelo's A-level.
So let me ask
Canelo's A-level. Go ahead, bro.
Who's A-level in the heavyweight division then? Because to me, it's only 3 people.
Who's an A-level fighter? Who's an A-level fighter?
As far as heavyweights go.
A-level fighter, I would have to say Anthony Joshua would be number 1. Tyson Fury would be an A-level fighter.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? We're talking about skills, okay? So I'm
talking about skills and resume. Skills and resume. I look at both.
Talking about skills and resume, both. Okay.
Yes.
So this is why I feel like it's a bit difficult, because we're in the same situation as what we are with Crawford. I don't care what nobody says. Crawford's an A-level fighter. Does he have an A-level resume at 147?
No.
Hell no.
Exactly.
But I don't care. I'll say to anybody, Crawford's an A-level fighter. So where do we go?
He's an A-level fighder. He's an A-level fighter because you've seen him consistently doing it in multiple weight classes. So you got to give him that. Why at 47 he hasn't got a chance to fight the best, but in the other divisions, he cleaned out a division.
Right.
T.O. ain't cleaned out no division. Let's keep it a beat. His undisputed is a manufactured undisputed. Quotation marks.
I get that. So I'm glad you brought that up, bro. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I'm on my G5 Jeff TV. I asked a question to ask another question. So why? Let me ask you a question. Why isn't Usyk on A-level fight? Because you just said he cleaned out a division. Usyk cleaned out a division. He's got skills. So why is it Usyk?
Usyk is an A-level fighter.
But I didn't hear you mention his name. That's my point. It's hard to.
I only got a chance to mention 2 names of A-level fighters before y'all cut me off.
Oh, so sorry. I'm so sorry, YSM. I'm so sorry. I actually apologize for that. I apologize.
I said Canelo, Lomachenko, Usyk will have to be 1. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, the kid Estrada. Shouts out to him. Shit. Let's be honest, man. Jamel Charlo.
Is Inoue an A-level fighter? Inoue.
You goddamn right, man. That little mother. I can't curse.
Why can't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want YouTube to flag me.
I don't give a damn about that shit. Go ahead.
That little motherfucker is a monster. He lives up to that name.
That's a fact.
At 160, I never thought Triple G was. I thought Triple G was a B+.
Okay.
At 175, I don't know. There's no A-level fighter at 175. Yeah, there's no A-level fighter at 175. There's no A-level fighter at 126 or 130.
No.
Or 140. 140, Josh Taylor.
Yes.
Let's keep it a bean.
Yeah, he
A-level fighter.
I'll put it this way. When you spoke about styles make fights, I'm not disregarding that, but I don't always, and this is just me being real, I don't always look at resume. I'm just keeping it so 100. I don't look at resume. I trust my eye. I don't know if you were here when I said this.
Yeah.
I trust the eye test. So I don't have to see Jaron Ennis fight so many 147 B level fighters to know that this guy's a dangerous fighter for anybody he fights, because I trust my eye test enough. It's the same thing when I was looking at Spence on the come up. I knew Errol Spence was going to be a dangerous fighter for many fighters just by my eye test. So yeah, I don't have to see resume all the time. I don't have to see it.
Now, let me chime in real quick. When you say Josh Taylor, when I look at Josh Taylor, man, looking at his skills and how his defensive, man, he's not an A-level fighter to me. That's just my opinion. And when he goes up against somebody that can do more than him, like him facing Terrence Crawford, to me, will be a fucking blowout. Like, I don't know why people were even trying to bring that fight up so fast on him. But to me, he's not an A-level fighter as of yet.
I want to ask you a question. Will he be the best fighter? Will he be the best fighter Terrence Crawford ever faced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, after watching Crawford dominate everybody he fought,
that's a damn good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you another question, and I gotta go.
Okay.
Whose resume is better at 140, Josh Taylor or Terrence Crawford?
Josh Taylor.
I have to disagree with that.
Taylor's is not better than Crawford's.
Man, when he cleaned it out, I mean, when nobody still wants to fight him. Like, he had to fight who was in front of him. Who
was there at when I'm saying this? Who was there at 140?
That's what I'm saying. Who was there?
Bro, and I said this to
Jeff. Josh Taylor fought the best in the division.
I said this
best was just better.
I said this to Jeff, and I say this to you, YSM. There's no way I'm going to look at resume and not look at how you beat your opponent. He struggled with Postal. He struggled with Prograde. Terrence Crawford struggled with no one. So I have to put Crawford's resume ahead of his.
I think
if you don't struggle, how is your resume better? This guy
Julius Indongo? Man, Shane, if you don't stop that bullshit.
I didn't mention Indongo. Bro, they both fought Postal.
But he was a part of the unified run, though.
Who beat Postal better? Who beat Postal better?
He had nobody. I mean,
he did.
Crawford beat Postal better. They both have a neutral opponent. Crawford absolutely destroyed Postal.
Did Crawford beat anybody that was better than Regis Prograde and Jose Ramirez? Yes or no?
No.
I did.
But that's.
I don't think just Taylor beat Prograde.
He was already out of the division by then, and it's not about because you got to fight who's in front of you. Well, at that time,
but I still got
to.
I still have to measure what you did.
All right. So when it comes to this Josh Taylor and Terrence Crawford fight, who would you pick?
I mean, you gotta go with Bud.
I think Bud blows him out. The way he was getting tagged in his last fight by a guy that was just basically winging his shots all over the place.
The Crawford fight, for Crawford, the fight doesn't make any sense.
Right. For him to go back down.
He's not going to get any credit
at all.
Any way you slice it.
That's a fact. But, Jeff, I still haven't, before you go on to that point, because we're going to go into a tangent, I don't want to forget my point. Bro, nobody is answering the fact that, what about how Crawford won? That's what is being ignored.
But
Crawford won in a certain manner that's better than if I win every fight by knockout and you win more fights but you win them on points, my resume is better than yours because I won by knockout.
That's not true because AJ you can say that with AJ and Wilder. That's not true. That's not a one size fit all.
When Crawford beat the hell out of Brooks, and the way Errol Spence beat Brooks, and he had some difficult times in that fight, man. Because I believe
Brooks was different too, though.
Yeah, but he blew him out. But it was two different fights because you can say, well, his eye was already busted up, and he had both his eyes had surgery on it, and then Crawford literally blew him out. It wasn't even the fight. So are you going to say Terrence Crawford?
Blaze.
I mean,
I
it's the
just
story
feel
of
like
boxing. Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, and this is the fact, and I said this to Jeff before. I feel like a lot of people look at Crawford's resume and they go, he hasn't fought anyone, but they don't look at how Crawford's fought these guys and what they're doing
I
after
do.
Crawford.
That's what I said. He's my
Because
number
to
2
me,
pound per pound now.
Crawford don't struggle. I mean, he struggled a bit with Gamboa, but Gamboa went 12 rounds with Tank and he went 12 rounds with Devin Haney. He got absolutely knocked out in 9 rounds by Terrence Crawford, bro. And this is an old Gamboa that went 12, bro.
Yeah,
this
So we gotta give this guy credit.
But Shane, this is the thing I tell you all the time, and I say this all the time. 2 things can be true. So, did Terrence Crawford look more impressive? I'm talking about actual performance. Yes. Mm-hmm. Now we talking actual quality of opponent. Josh Taylor had the better quality of opponent.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I think it's just how you look at it. So who's like, if you're looking at it from a straight quality of opponent standpoint, then you would have to say Josh Taylor had the better run. But if you're talking about being dominant within the run, then you got to go with Crawford. So it really depends on how you look at it.
Someone brought up the wildest situation.
But when you say that, Jeff, those quality opponents that what's the name had better, dude, you put them in the ring with Terrence Crawford, what do you get? A blowout. So it doesn't, to me, Crawford.
I think that's a good point, because if you put Pograves in with Crawford, I think Crawford clearly wins. I don't know if he beats up Pograves though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he beats him up.
But Taylor didn't clearly win against Pograves. He didn't.
I thought Pograves won the fight.
Me as well. And let's keep it real. If that fight wasn't in Scotland or in UK, Pograves ain't winning that. Taylor ain't winning that fight, bro. That's just real.
It's really subjective. I mean, it's really the topic is really subjective.
I can't really remember that fight, but if y'all saying that about that fight, you saying you had the other guy winning. When have you ever had that conversation about Terrence Crawford?
Thank you. That's my point to everyone. When people talk about pound for pound, I say there's no asterisk next to Crawford's name. I've never watched the fight and I thought, you know what, Crawford could have lost that.
Yeah, but the only asterisk you can pull up is the quality of opponent. Nobody questions Terrence Crawford inside of the ring. Like I'm probably one of the few people that probably question him the most, to be honest with you, because I think he doesn't do it.
I see his skills.
The only thing that I would like for him to try to figure things out more from the orthodox stance. Like it's kind of like his answer to questions is kind of just switching southpaw. So if he fights a guy like a Pograves, he fights a higher level guy, that may not work as smooth as it has in the past. You know what I'm saying? That's if I had to point at one knock on him, that'll be the only knock. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he has shown very good. Like in that one occasion, I know you're gonna say that was only one fight, but in the Postal fight, he looked fantastic in orthodox.
Yeah, but the thing is though, Pograves don't give you angles neither. So if he was gonna look impressive in a fight, orthodox, that would be the type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Let me get these comments real quick. Chris G says, skill-wise, I think Canelo and Crawford are A-level fighters. Resume, I think Canelo is A and Crawford is a B. I think Errol Spence is a B+ skill-wise and an A resume. Does that make sense? I'm just throwing.
I definitely don't think Spence is an A-level fighter in terms of resume. I think he's an A-level fighter inside the ring, but I don't think his resume.
He gets this Pacquiao fight that'll make him an A-level fighter.
Facts. But you can't.
So
that's a fact.
So okay, so Chris G, you're saying Spence is he has an A-level resume. So we're talking Danny, Sean, Brooke,
and
Mikey. I don't know if I want to call that make. But you know what? The only reason I consider that is because he was asking for it.
Yeah, but
he was asking for that fight.
Mikey was looking for a payday to me for that fight.
No, I think he was delusional, bro. Like I honestly think he was thinking that he was going to win the fight.
He knew.
No,
he
bro.
had
It
no
was
shot.
You know
the
what
reason
the
I say
truth
that,
is,
bro, because
bro?
it was the amount of time he was calling him out. He was calling him out for over 12 months. Like
The,
that's
the
way
truth,
beyond
I hear
trolling.
you, right?
the
That's
truth
But
beyond.
is, bro.
the man did nothing but stay in the shell the whole fight, man. He was
No,
scared to
I'm
throw a
with
punch.
you. I'm with you. I'm
So he
talking
was
about
there
going
for
into the fight.
No,
you don't
it
go
was a
into a
money
fight
bag.
calling somebody out, thinking you're going to beat them, and then go into a shell in the entire fight.
But
That's just not
but
how it works.
Blaze, this is the thing though. Mikey Garcia could have went in a different direction and made the same amount of money. He didn't
Where
have to fight. Like he didn't have to fight
Vince
Spence. Like I
Vince
think
was a
he really
superstar
thought he
then.
was going to beat Spence. Like he
Who? Where
had
was he
some
going to go?
infatuation with Spence.
I think nobody right now. Errol Spence is the cash cow. I'm not sure where his status was then. I'm pretty sure it was still high. Where was he going to go? That's the reason he
I
moved up.
think there was obviously the speak about the Manny fight. I think that was the only fight he potentially could have made, and that's the only fight I think that he could. Other than that, Spence is probably the biggest payday that he would have got.
But you know how hard it is to get Manny Pacquiao in the ring. That's why he went after Spence. Spence was easier to get in the ring.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
good
fact.
point. That's a good point. Chris G says stuff out there. Not necessarily agree with all that. We already talked to YSM. I ain't. So loss of Salido, Mike Anderson. That's true. Lennox Lewis rectified all his losses. That's
That's
true.
a fact.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Bruce goes in the building.
Shout out.
Salute on fight night, my brothers. He said you sound like T-Pain. Yeah, that shit was funny. Bruce goes, who was the better
Who
140
sounds
pound
like T-Pain?
undisputed?
Who sounds like T-Pain?
He said you said YSM was like he couldn't hear you. You sounded like T-Pain and shit.
Yeah, I missed that. I heard that.
He said Bruce Gould says who was the better 140 pound undisputed Taylor or Crawford? We already discussed that.
That's not even a question for me. So you already know where I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I resume. Well, Bruce Gould's to answer the question again. Josh Taylor had the better quality opponents. Terrence Crawford had the more impressive performances, getting to the undisputed status. Skill wise, Crawford. Resume Taylor at Bruce Gould's.
I disagree with that one as well.
What?
Now, when y'all say that though, man, when it comes to me, resume doesn't hold more weight than skills to me. Because you can
That's
have
my
all the
point
resume
from the
and the point
start
in
of
the
this
world.
life.
You can have
What?
every fighter in the world on your resume, but you get to the guy that got skills, you're not gonna have him on your resume. To me, if Terrence Crawford gets in the ring with Josh Taylor doesn't stand a chance to me.
The reason why I agree with that Blaze Philly is because for 1 second, Jeff, yeah. The reason why I agree with that Blaze Philly is because you ask 70% or to 80% of people who is a better fighter, Fury or AJ, and 90% most people are gonna say Fury. But if you look at Fury's resume, he actually only has 2 names on his resume. Right. Let's just keep it real. He has 2 names on his resume. One of them was a draw, and one of them was a win, and the other one was Klitschko.
I want to get this out of the way.
A laundry list of fighters, a whole laundry list of fighters that he's beat.
I want to get this out of the way real quick. I'm not used to y'all two agreeing this much on the live. I'm not used to this shit.
Bruce, I owe Blaze Philly. As soon as that fight happens, I owe Blaze Philly 500. So
he need that too.
Chris
G, that is what I jump into. Said Julius Ndago got slept 7 more times after Crawford. That wasn't a good win, to be honest. He was actually undefeated before that fight.
The worst fighter I've ever seen, man. I don't even know. Like, he just had power. He just reminds me of a bad Deontay Wilder. Like the one trick pony that he's not good at it.
But he wasn't. He was undefeated in that fight, though.
What was Crawford supposed to do? Not go for the under. This fight was for all the marbles. It wasn't.
Crawford knew going into that fight that he wasn't going to lose.
He was. And Ndago was food.
To me, Ndago's best fight was a lucky punch that he landed. I forget on the European guy. I couldn't remember.
That Russian kid in the first round.
That was it. That's Ndago's career right there in a nutshell.
But bro, I tell you something. Yeah, when Crawford was undisputed, we didn't have an undisputed champion for like 7 years before that. So Crawford broke broke that. What's it called? He broke that chain, bro.
Yeah, Chris G said anyone who thinks that Crawford has a better resume than Taylor at 140 is flossing their teeth with their nut hairs. With that said, Crawford is still a better fighter than Taylor. Yeah, that's your boy is in
All
the
I want to
building.
ask Chris G
Your boy is in
Chris
the
G,
building.
Chris G, tell him to run it back with Progre. That's all I want to see. All I want to see is Taylor run it back with Progre. Neutral ground. Neutral ground, run it back with Progre.
Shane, your best friend is back in the
I'm gonna
building.
watch
Pack,
that
he
fight,
said,
man. I
calm
don't
down,
remember.
Shane. Davidian Simmons is in the building. Big shout out to you. Hey, what's good, y'all? Put me down for Devin the Dream. Haney. Yeah, I like Haney tonight. It's just how he's gonna win.
If you were
Bruce
to bet
goes
Death, what would you
And
bet?
I believe it's still. I think this fight
decision.
goes 12 rounds.
Decision.
I
bet decision.
think Haney might get a late stoppage. I won't lie to you.
If he do it, I think it's gonna be to the body. I don't believe
Could
it's
I can
going to
see
be a
that happening.
knockout shot.
I can see that happening. Yeah, late stoppage or decision. I would say decision.
I'm gonna lean towards decision, but I would agree with a late stoppage too. But I'm gonna lean towards decision.
Bruce Gold said that question was 10 minutes old. I apologize, bro. We be cooking, man. Pack said you're old. If you're talking about me, you are exactly right. I am. Brendan Jackson, what's going on, player?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I definitely want to see that, Shane. Yeah, if Josh Taylor and Progress run that back, that would be awesome.
Bro, it is to me, and I watched that fight as a complete neutral. The reason because I didn't really care who won, I actually didn't care. I just wanted to see a good fight, and I was so impressed with the skill levels. And I'm not saying it was a robbery because it wasn't a robbery, but it depends on what you like. Personally, I like clean, crisp punches, and I just thought that in terms of evasive action, I thought Progress was better. Now Taylor had a lot more volume. So it depends on what you like, and I just thought that the moment whoever won that fight was going to be undisputed. That's what I said to myself at that time, and I say it again. I just feel like both of those guys were better than Jose Ramirez.
Yeah. I mean, hey, Blaze, when you get a chance, definitely watch that fight. Yeah, is that on YouTube, Shane? You can find that on YouTube. Yeah.
It was on the zone as well, so you can watch it.
Yeah. So that was a really, really, really good fight. But it's gonna be interesting to see what Haney does tonight.
What's on the undercard tonight, though? Anybody know?
For you talking about Haney?
Yeah.
The only fight that I'm really interested in is Quigley and Shane Mosley Jr. I think that should be a solid scrap.
I know the live already started because I got the notification for it.
Yeah.
I think if I'm being honest, I feel like if Devin Haney beats Linares, I can literally script his whole entire career. They're gonna try and make the Teofimo fight. It's not gonna happen. They're gonna make the Fortuna fight, and then after that, they're literally just gonna try to make the Teofimo fight again. It ain't gonna happen. Then Devin Haney's gonna move up to 140. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Did you say he's gonna fight Teofimo? I mean, Devin Haney's gonna fight Teofimo? Because I don't see that fight happening for another.
No, I said he's gonna fight. They're gonna try to make the fight, but they're gonna end up fighting Javier Fortuna.
Yeah, I could see that definitely happening.
You know what really gets me? Where is Lomachenko at? Like, has anybody even heard from this man?
Isn't he supposed to be fighting Nakatani?
Is that Nakatani fight actually signed, sealed, and delivered?
I haven't heard.
Matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. Because that should be on BoxRec because I was told that fight was done. I was personally told that fight was done.
You hear that from Shane because if you say Shane,
no, it's official. Yeah, it's official. Yo, that was a shot.
Wait. I never got to justify myself to Blaze, so I have to justify myself to Blaze.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. The Nakatani fight is official.
It's official. When is it?
June 26th.
2 days after my birthday. I ain't even gonna be here. I'm gonna be in
June 26th.
I'm gonna be in
Adrian said,
where you gonna be? Where you gonna be?
Aruba.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's why he need that $500 from you, play.
Yeah, that's going. That's definitely going to his vacation. But I'm gonna need you to run that up.
When that fight, I promise you, the moment that fight happens, it's gonna happen.
Brendan Jackson, Lomachenko was fighting.
What happened? It's like we already got the sign sealed and delivered. I know. To speak on that point, I think Fury's still going to try to get out of this fight, either with retirement.
That's why you gotta wait, bro. That's why you gotta wait until it actually happens.
No, man, I can see that too.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm with you because I'm trying to borrow something. Once Shane send that over, so I'm with you 100%. I gotta keep it a buck though. I gotta keep it a buck.
You can't say getting out of the fight by retiring or. I think he's going to drop the belt, but I don't even. Why would he drop the belt?
See Fury
on a unification fight.
I can see Fury saying he got injured during camp.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Either injury.
He said he got what?
I can see Fury saying he got injured.
He's going to find some way to
I
get out.
can literally see it. Brendan Jackson, he said Lomachenko was fighting Nakatani June 26th. Yeah, I just seen that, bro. Dude has been putting in work at the gym. Let me see the undercard on YouTube Matchroom site. So that's the undercard. I'm not really like I said, the Quigley and Mosley Jr. That's really the only one that I'm really interested in, really.
Yeah, so Blaze, this is the thing. It's very simple. When it came to Wilder and Fury and AJ, it's just very simple. I allowed my enthusiasm for the fight and my want for the fight to cloud my intelligence. I've seen Fury probably more than anybody watching this live. This guy has counseled so much fights. So it wasn't even like I didn't believe you. It's just I didn't want to believe you because I wanted to see the fight. That's just the truth.
No, that's a Blaze, and that's a fact too. That's a fact too, because so when y'all was arguing back and forth on the fight happening and Shane, like I was told by a source that the poster covered out and all that. I couldn't laugh in the live.
No, but I was actually told that as well.
I know you were told that, but I'm like, the fact that
there was a documentary. There was a documentary that was already, and I can say it now. There was a documentary out that Sky was literally in the process of recording, literally Road to Undisputed. And that was AJ. Because AJ Road to Undisputed. There's a documentary that Sky or one of those guys was reporting.
But that just goes to show.
They already started it.
That goes to show how out of touch they were.
But Tyson Fury literally announced the fight, what, a day before the arbitration was over? I mean, a day before the ruling? So I don't blame Shane. They were putting misinformation out there. I just wasn't listening to none of that. Because it all came down to the arbitration, and everybody tried to minimize the arbitration.
The main thing for me, I was just like, the biggest fight, one of the top 2 or 3 biggest fights in the sport should not have to be announced 4 times.
Right.
That's my only point. That's my only point.
Almost a year.
Yeah, like that was my only.
Crying wolf for me when they first
that was my only point. Like I'm like AJ and Fury is one of the biggest fights in the sport. Like you shouldn't have to tell me 4 different times that the fight is made. Like you announce it one time and that's it.
What generates more money? AJ Fury or AJ Wilder?
I think now it depends on whether.
Now, what are you talking about generating money? Can you elaborate on that?
So let's say let's say Wilder beats Fury. What generates more money? What generates the more money? AJ versus Wilder or AJ versus Fury?
Are you talking? All right. So let me get at that first.
Good.
AJ and Wilder will make more money. Now, mind you, I'm taking out the site fee stuff in Saudi because then it's not fair. It's not fair. Whichever fight is in Saudi, like that's the one that's going to generate more money.
Bro, that's the thing though. I'll keep it real. I think Wilder and AJ generates more money, and I think it will still be in Saudi. I still think it will be in Saudi, bro. Like the money that they're offering is stupid.
Bro, do you know how big AJ and Wilder would be in the States in terms of pay-per-view buys?
But that's another fight I don't think is ever going to happen.
That shit would be insane.
But
bro.
This is the thing. I don't think anybody in America is gonna put up enough site fee for that fight to happen in the
No,
States.
it's not. It's either one of them fights is going down in Saudi. Like that's just what it is. Like they offering too much bread. Like they'd be dumb not to take it. You understand what I'm saying? They'd be dumb not to take
That's
it.
another reason why I thought the AJ and Fury fight was gonna happen. Because to me, I'm thinking these Saudis got too much money. They ain't letting the arbitration get in the way. I think they got way too much money.
Yeah, Bruce Gould said, "Did you hear John Fury's latest comments on Tyson?"
Yeah.
What was the comments? I didn't hear it. What's enlighten me?
He
What
was
was the comments?
basically saying he doesn't rate. He was basically, in less of a words, he feels like Fury's underestimating Wilder. He's not taking the fight serious. He's got too much yes men around him. He was actually just like saying their team really messed up not making the AJ fight, and they're trying to set him up. And basically, he doesn't feel confident in going into the Wilder second fight.
Man,
and for those who
telling them to drop the belt and move on to the AJ fight.
For those who don't know, though, I'll tell you this for a fact. When it comes to John Fury and Tyson Fury, John Fury is straightforward with it. Like, he'll tell you straight. Like, if he don't feel like Fury's gonna win, he will say he don't feel Fury it's a fight that Fury should take. He'll say it. And he said that he don't think he's confident that Fury's gonna win that fight.
Fair enough. I mean, that's crazy, you know. But they kind of go at it like Mayweather and his dad used to go at it, like, you know what I mean. And people don't even talk about this. I'm like, Senior actually trained somebody to beat his own son. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, like what kind of shit is that? Like, Dos. Hold on, Dos Los. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah,
Dos Los. Big shout out to you, Dos Los. Definitely subscribe to the channel. When's the Devin Haney Jorge fight start?
Huh? What country you? It depends on what country.
Dos Los, where you from? And then we can answer that. It should probably come on like 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Yo, I'm getting tired of watching fights at like 12 at night. That Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez fight, I believe that fight went off like 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
Bro, you can't complain, bro. I'll be watching fights at 6 and 5. Bro.
I feel bad, but that's ridiculous, man. That is ridiculous.
Yeah. That shit is crazy, bro.
I remember the AJ and I can't remember. Yeah, the AJ and Klitschko fight. No, Klitschko fight. That I didn't even get to watch that fight because I was asleep. It came on like 6 in the morning. I feel like I didn't even get to watch that fight.
Yeah, like you definitely
videos.
Your DVR game definitely got to be strong, yo. Definitely got to be strong. Okay, we got Germany in the building. What's the time? What time is it right now in Germany?
So Germany are 1 hour ahead of UK, so it will be 7 o'clock for you. That's the time it will start. 7 o'clock.
Bruce Gould said, "I hear that."
Get all the good information on this channel.
You know the thing. You know the thing that's crazy, y'all. And I literally said this at the start of this live. I said, Shane, I was just like, this is Sneak Attack Live. I was just like, man, I said the shit ain't jumping, yo. I said we off here in about a half hour. And it's getting to a point. I'm just like, all right, we gonna be going for at least an hour minimum.
Yeah.
This is the funniest thing, though. Like, we didn't put no schedule on. By the way, Jeff said he's going live after the fight. I don't believe him. This guy's like Tyson Fury. Sometimes he be talking trash.
Nah, that's
hit me up. I told him to tell you to hit me up and we'll go live. I don't really care. I'll be up most of the time.
But the thing is, though, and we can laugh and joke around about it. Like, no, that's 100% facts. I'm like, man, the way my schedule is, yo, I might. What I tell you at 10:30 might change at 10:45. Like, that's literally at the time. I be having good intentions when I say it, and then sometimes shit just goes left. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is,
you'll be live for Danny Dubois next week, though. 100%.
Yeah, we'll definitely be live for that. So what we're gonna start. Matter of fact, I might as well announce this now. Since you mentioned that, there are going to be times where it's going to be a G5 Jeff TV live schedule, and you may see Shane by himself, or you may see Shane and Blaze Philly 215 doing the live. So if you see a live with this channel and I'm not there, do not be surprised, because even if I'm not there, I'm listening. But what that's going to do is it's going to expand the channel. is going to expand the channel basically because sometimes channels can get a little stagnant because you hear the same person, same type of video all
Same
day
fights.
long, same fights. Like it's just like at least on here, we've built a rapport where you'll see me and Shane, but then you might see me and Boxing First Vlog. Then you might see me, Shane, New Boxing Wave Media. Then you might see all of us with YSM. Then you might see DTD the Boom Man. Like it's just like you never know
Or
what you
you
going.
might see the link in the description, and everybody in the chat just click
Yeah,
the link.
you just like everybody. You might see everybody that's in the chat actually in the show.
I
Um,
literally, I literally just wanted to cover some British fights in it, so
Yeah,
just
so
go
it's
live
so
with
that's
some
the
British
thing. Like
fights.
that's the main thing. Like Shane, there's a lot of British fights that needs to be covered. So it's better if Shane is on there, doing it. He's in the UK, so he's 5 hours ahead. Correct? You 5 hours
Yeah,
ahead, Shane.
depends
He's
if you're
5 hours.
Eastern or
Yeah, it depends. So it's like Shane could be going on live relatively early in the US, but in the UK
Did you
it's
get
like
the
early
news?
afternoon.
Did you get the news of Pascal failing his drug test?
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what? And we
So
done
that
went
you
an
know that
hour.
fight's off now, right?
Yeah, we done went a whole hour 20 minutes and didn't mention that one time.
I won't lie to you. I personally, I thought Buddy Jack won the first fight anyway, but I feel
I did
like
too.
Buddy Jack and Marcus Brown's losses to Jean Pascal should be revoked.
Yeah, I think that's a real good point. I think
And
It wasn't
another
even one
point
test. He
is,
failed 3 tests. 3 different
how
tests.
good is Dimitri Bivol? This guy beat Jean Pascal and he was on so much drugs and he beat him 12-0. That's ridiculous.
yeah, and you know the thing that's crazy is like they're probably not gonna reverse the decisions.
That's why I'm waiting
And
to
if
fight some better fighters than Dimitri Bivol.
bro, you know what? Let
Been
me get
waiting
this
on him
out
a
the
long
way real
time.
quick. Let me get this out the way real quick. If I'm not mistaken, I think they had VADA testing for that Badu Jack fight.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
they?
pretty sure it has to been because it was
Because
3
that
different
was on
tests.
that card, that was on the that wasn't the
Deontay,
main event.
no, Javante Tank Davis. I think they were on that undercard.
Yeah. If
Was
I'm
it the
not
Tank
mis-
Davis undercard? Was it? Yeah, it was. It was
if
Tank
I'm not
Davis.
mistaken, I think they had VADA. I gotta double check that.
Tank
But
Davis versus Gamboa. Was it Tank
but
Davis
again,
versus Gamboa?
no, it wasn't that one. Nah.
No. I'm
Hold
saying
on. I got see now I
the
gotta look it
second
up.
fight is
Now I
on
gotta
the
look it up.
Tank Davis fight coming up.
I'm pretty sure it was Tank Davis Gamboa. Was it not?
I'm
I
about to
don't
look
know if
right
they
now.
were on that undercard. Probably so though.
I'm about to look right
Honestly,
now.
I
I
kind
got you.
of dislike watching Banu Jack fights, man.
No,
Because his
it was
fights
on
just
that.
get
No,
on my
you was right,
nerves.
Shane.
I told
You
you,
was right.
bro.
You was right. You was right. You was right. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
because that was the same fight. That was the same fight. That was the same card where Uzkatiki lost to Lionel Thompson after he
Oh
lost to
wow.
Plant. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm because
Wasn't
it
that fight
was
a draw to Pascal and Banu Jack?
no
No, they
Pascal got the
robbed it.
dub. Yeah,
They
no
robbed it.
Pascal
They
got the dub.
absolutely robbed it. They
Yeah,
robbed it.
Pascal got the dub. But the
So
thing
But
is
remember,
you
though,
so used
they've
to Banu
robbed
Jack
Buddy
going to
Jack.
draws.
They've robbed Buddy Jack a few times in his
but
career. When he
this
fought
but the
When he
thing
fought
is
James
though,
DeGale, I believe he was a
yeah,
draw.
and Adonis Stevenson.
yeah, and Adonis. So but the thing that's
Adonis
crazy,
still sweet.
there's a
He
lot
sweet.
of rumors. There's a lot of rumors going around that PBC really don't be like drug testing like that.
Which is the
I
thing. I
heard
think
there's
all
no.
boxing matches should have Nevada State drug testing, man. I mean,
I
Olympic
heard
style
that
drug
what's it
testing.
called? I heard that Errol Spence and Pacquiao has no VAR testing.
Now that's a good point, Sean, because I was wondering about that myself because I did hear that if it is Olympic style drug testing, then Pacquiao would drop out of the fight because they're saying because he's a senator, he can't give blood every time because they can't know where he's at all the time because it's a security risk. So I don't know how that's going to work because I know
Hey
for a
yo,
fact it was no drug testing in the what was the other fight? The fight he just fought, the Keith Thurman fight.
yeah,
Thurman.
And he looked
yo,
the best out of his.
hey,
You've seen him, right?
hey,
So
hey,
1 and 1 is 2, man.
Hey yo, I can see Blaze. Hey Blaze, I can see this right. Pacquiao, he got one of them. He got one of them chambers that Steve Urkel used to hop into when he
Right.
turned into Stefan Urkel and shit.
I'm just telling you, man. The
Yo, it's
drugs in it, I
crazy.
mean, the PED used in boxing nowadays is ridiculous, and everybody's
Pacquiao
doing
gonna
it.
be
That's why nobody speaks up on it, man.
Pacquiao gonna be feeling real nice. Go
Mm-hmm.
fight that,
No,
yo. He gonna be feeling real nice, yo.
no,
And then I give
definitely.
him a chance to beat Smith. If that's the case, I really give him a chance. I mean, if he gonna be on the finest juices, man, like my man Jeff
Bro,
say,
Yeah.
if he's gonna be on drugs, if I'm not saying he is, I'm saying if he's on drugs,
we
I'm
already
putting my money
past
on
the if point
Pacquiao.
with me and him. Man
Bruce
got
Lewis
legs
said
like
I
tree
need a
trunks.
nap to watch these fights. That's a
Like he
fact,
came in
bro.
with twigs, now he got tree trunks his legs. Like, come on,
I'm not
man.
gonna lie to you, Bruce. I'll tell you this for a fact. The way I see this fight going between Linares and Devin Haney, you're gonna fall asleep during the fight.
And he might. He might.
Bro, do you remember Jeff? Do you
I
remember
don't
Jeff
know
when
what
we
this
stayed
dude
up? When
talking
I
about.
stayed
David
up,
DeGay. I think he meant
Yeah, I
David
don't.
DeGale.
Oh, DeGale. Okay.
David DeGay. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
remember. Do you remember
Yeah, I was
that?
like, what are you talking about?
Do you
Hmm?
remember when we stayed? I stayed up to watch the Bartholomew versus Robert Easter. That fight was
I
so
Yo,
can't watch
trash.
Robert Easter
bro.
fight, man. He's
Yo,
the most.
bro.
Oh my god, I can't stand that little
Actually, you
guy.
know, he put on a good performance in his last fight. I
Who?
definitely
Yeah,
give
he
Robert
him
did.
that.
Easter?
He did. Yeah,
To
he
me,
looked
he
good in
got
his last fight.
dominated. Who
No,
did
no,
he
no,
fight?
not in his last. You thinking about the wrong fight, bro. The last
Oh,
fight,
he must
he
have just
he
fought
was putting
then.
in work. No,
Who did he
he
fight?
fought not that long ago.
No, he fought this year. He fought this
Yeah, he
year.
fought this year. It was
He fought
early
on
this year.
the you know when Adrian Bono was like, I beat that boy, that boy that he just beat, that guy that he lost to,
Yeah,
Santiago, whoever.
Santiago. Yeah,
Robert Easter was on the undercard.
yeah.
I
He
saw
fought
the
well in
last
that
fight I
fight
saw
too.
him. He didn't look good. I'm
It
over his
wasn't
fight.
that one. It wasn't that one. He was actually impressive in his last fight.
Funny enough, if Robert Easter was at 130, that would 135, that would be a fight I'd actually want to see Devin Haney in.
Yeah, that's a good
Against Robert
fight.
Easter,
Yeah, that's a good fight.
I think
That's
he
a good fight.
dominates him, man.
I don't think
Because
so.
Because
I don't
Robert
think
Easter,
so.
I don't know, man.
I
I
don't
was
think
not a
so.
fan of his ever. Just the way his style
I
is,
forgot
man.
Blaze. Yeah, Blaze ain't never been a Robert Easter fan. I will say that. I
I've
can
never
stamp
been a
that.
Robert Easter.
I can definitely stamp that. That's a good. But the
Like
one
when I saw
thing,
him against Mikey, he quit in that fight to me, man. Like Mikey
Mikey
just
Power won that
outsmarted
fight.
him, man. Like yeah, he
Yeah,
just
Mikey
But
Power
you
won
know
that
what?
fight.
That's Robert Easter's problem. Robert Easter be trying to fight like he's 5'1" and stuff like that. Like this
No,
guy.
he fight like he
he
got
got no
Peturbia
inside
power.
game.
That's how he
He
be
can fight.
fighting.
Yeah,
He can keep
yeah,
you if he
yeah.
can keep you at the end of his punches. He'll do that all night. But he has no
But
inside
the thing
game. He has no
is,
ring generalship, man.
no, he don't have ring generalship. He does have inside game, but it's just he don't have
I
the
have never
power to
seen him
really
fight good. Yeah, like, he does
he don't
nothing
have
on
the
the
power
inside
to
to me.
really he don't have the power to like when he does show his inside game, like his power don't be having the snap on it on the inside.
Exactly,
You
And
know what I'm
and you
and
saying?
need that as a boxer. You need an inside game to keep the big ass motherfuckers off of you.
and this guy just fights. He's just so long. Like when he fights in the pocket, I'm like, this guy's torso so long. Like he's got a massive target for people to just bang that drum.
Yeah. No, that's a fact.
Could you
That's
imagine
100%
him
fact.
versus Jose Ramirez? Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Jose Ramirez
that
would
would be
pound that
That's what
body.
I'm saying. You get on the inside. Robert Easter is over, man. If he can't keep you at the end of his punches, it's going to be a long night for him. And that's exactly
yeah.
what Mikey did. He got on the inside of his punches and was catching.
Yeah. No, that's 100% facts. That's 100% facts. Yeah, man. Listen, the actual Haney Linares card getting ready to start. I guess we
Yep, I
gonna
just
close it
got the
out,
alert.
fellas. Yeah, we're gonna close it out right there. We was
I'll
on
be up
there for a good hour and a
for the
half
fight and
strong.
after the fight, man. I might go live my damn self. So just
Hey,
for the
bro,
fun.
you gotta I gotta get the link to your channel so I can start throwing it in the
Yeah, bro. We need to
live.
start getting
Yo,
some more numbers.
we gotta go live on your joint. We gotta start doing that.
He said that too, man. But
Huh?
let me know, cause you know Jeff be doing this thing. We all be at work or whatever. It's always something. I'm always the late
Yeah,
one. I know that.
listen. But listen, if we on your channel, we on your time, brother.
That's
All
a
right.
lie, Jim.
Like I said,
That's a
I'm gonna go
damn
live
lie.
tonight.
Huh?
You know,
What's a
Jeff,
lie?
man. Like I said, you gotta catch us in the win, especially me, man. I'm the worst.
Yeah, I no, I'm saying in terms of like when you actually go on live, I'm like, we're on your time. Like we have to go
That's
on
why I
whenever
said the
you
best
say.
time
Like,
for me
yeah,
to do my lives is weekends when I'm not working or doing my overtime.
weekends.
So
Yeah, I know your schedule. Yeah, your schedule crazy during the week. Like I already know. Like Wayne ain't got to
I mean,
speak on that.
when I go Philly, I hope I see Blaze.
we
Oh
be
no,
here,
I'm
man.
taking you.
We all gonna
I'm
get up.
taking, bro. Listen. When you come to Philly, right?
We
There's a
all
couple
getting up.
things we handling. There's a couple things we handling off top. So I'm gonna take you to go see YSM first, and then we gonna go hit the jump. Then we gonna link up. We gonna link up with Blaze, and we gonna actually like hang out. Like we actually
Yeah.
gonna go hang out. You know what I'm saying? So
I
that's
hear
one of
that.
the top. That's one of the That's one of the first 2-3 people I'm gonna take you to go see anyway. So yeah.
Blaze. What fun stuff you got out in
Listen,
Philly?
man. First of all, I need you to know I'm like 40 with kids. I don't do fun shit, no, bro. I'm stuck in the crib. I'm married.
listen, listen.
We
We
gonna
gonna we
find.
gonna we
We,
gonna make an exception. We gonna make an exception because you in town, Shane. So we gonna
literally,
dust off
I'm
the
about to say, man, we
the
supposed to.
sneaks.
Bro,
Me and Dre, we supposed to get in this
especially when I wire
Vegas
you
trip
that
together.
500.
So
I expect a little bit. When I wire you that 500, I
we'll
expect what's it called, some hospitality.
show you where to go in Philly. I definitely
Yeah,
can tell you
show him
where
a
to
good
go.
time with his $500.
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Alex,
Whatever you
yo,
want to
Alex, he
Venmo
said, "What's
me,
up,
Cash App,
guys?"
whatever you ready. I need that for vacation. Thank you very much.
Alex, what's going on, yo? Definitely subscribe to the channel, man. Big shout out to you, Alex. But yeah, it's gonna be yo, bro. We've been on for an hour and a half, and we didn't even touch the old
Cause
Bali card. We,
yeah.
but listen, man. I told you, like, it's a Blaze. The one thing I will tell you, bro, and this real shit. When you set up a live, yo, like you put up a thumbnail, you put up a topic. 9 times out of 10, that shit gonna go left, bro. It's
You
gonna go
already
left.
know.
Like
We
we
do that every time
literally,
we go live.
Shane and I be having board meetings before we go on live. We be like, all right, listen, we gonna touch on this, that, this, and this. And as soon as somebody in the comment section say something out of pocket, it just
You
goes
already
left.
know.
Like it's just like that's just what it is, man. But give them give them the name of your channel and all that, please.
It's new Boxing Wave Media. Y'all can hit me up on there all the time. Blaze Philly 215 is just really a regular channel. You know what I mean? You but shout out to everybody that tuned in today, man. Appreciate all the questions, all the answers that we gave out, man. We ready for this fight. Like I said, I might go live and do a little live
Hey,
party
well,
for this fight, man.
send the link
And
if you do.
everybody already got theirs because I know y'all can sign in my account if y'all need to sign in because I'm already paying for it, so ain't no need for everybody else
Oh,
paying
I
for
already got it.
it.
So
Yeah.
already got it. But hold on. Alex said, new subscriber here. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, man, listen. Let
Big
me
up
tell
on
you
the new
something.
subscriber.
Yeah, this is the thing, bro. Like you hit the comment section. We let you on the show. Like it was pretty light today. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
you could
But
have hit that
Because
link.
it's surprise
Join
yeah,
live. I
in, man.
couldn't do no
you can
prep.
definitely jump on. Like so, it's we a little different over here. We don't just be like, all right, well, we got a
All
subscriber. The
right.
only place they can be is the comment section. Like we don't do that. So if it's a topic, um, you want to jump on, man. Like 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna put the link in the description in the chat,
The
and
links
you
in
feel
this
free to
chat,
jump
this
on.
is how it goes. Like that's
Yeah,
two guaranteed. Your comments will definitely get read. And
your
if it doesn't get
comments,
read, we'll put a link in the description.
bro. It's only been 2 times that I didn't read the comments. One time it was so many comments I didn't feel like reading them, so I just put a link in the chat for everybody that made a comment to jump on. And the second time I did it, I skipped comments by accident. Those are literally the only 2 times since I've been on the channel where I've actually missed
Like
comments.
if Jeff has to finish the live in 3 hours, he'll read every comment if he has to.
I
That's
will
how.
literally the last live we did, Shane got off maybe like 2 hours and 15 minutes in. I literally got off after like 3 hours and 10 minutes, yo. I take the comment section very serious. Um, we all do. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you jumping on, man. Hopefully you'll join us for future lives. As far as regular videos, I really don't be doing those that much anymore. I probably need to get back to that. But I think I'm going to start doing regular videos with this format and just do pre-recordeds and drop them because I don't see many people doing that.
Yeah.
They're just doing the voiceover. So we probably going to start doing pre-recorded joints on specific topics and dropping on. But we appreciate you jumping on. Shane, give them your social media, bro.
I_am Shane the number one.
And he is exclusively on Instagram. He has an
Only
exclusive
Instagram.
contract. He has an
Only
exclusive
Instagram.
contract with Instagram.
I don't deal with any other form of social
He
media.
don't deal with
Okay.
any other form of social media at all. With
Our
me,
Snapchat is yours, but I don't use it.
he has Snapchat as well. So he has an exclusive contract with Snapchat as well. With me, I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything G5 Jeff TV.
All right, fellas.
So on behalf of New Boxing Wave Media, aka Blaze
Please.
4215, I am Shane, aka VP Shane, my OG Boxing First Vlog, who is not in here, but always big shout out to you, bro. And your boy G5 Jeff TV. We are out.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.